All right, let's talk single leg training. We're going to go over progressions and regressions, what you're really looking for, kind of coaching cues, and some variations that you can incorporate based upon the sport of the athlete or your specific problem areas, whether it be overextension, a lack of kind of sitting back into the glute and kind of forward translation of the knee. So typically, I like to start all of my clients with what's called Shin Block, whether that be putting your toes up against the wall so that it forces them to sit back into the glute and engage more of the glute and hamstring. But you can also use a bench. This is a very easy way for them to understand that cue kinesthetically. So the foot's going to start a little bit underneath the bench, and the shin will actually be up against the bench. I like to start in a half kneeling position. From here, they can kind of generate the stability out of the bottom rather than working top to bottom. Again, we want to kind of find that tripod foot, so big toe, little toe, and heel. It's not just about pushing through the heel or the forefoot. You kind of want to be right in the middle. So again, find those 3 points of contact, and you're going to stand straight up. So again, the movement happens straight up and down, not forward or backward. So that's where I like to start most folks. Again, everybody kind of wants to start with a walking lunge, Bulgarian split squat, or rear foot elevated split squat, whatever you want to call it. That's the most advanced progression. Most people need to start with a split squat. They need to be able to ingrain hip stability in multiple planes. And they need to kind of take a step back and learn how to walk before they try and sprint. So that's number one. Again, from there, once the athlete kind of grasps this vertical shin concept, and split squats are fairly easy, you've loaded them up. Now, we would then progress them to something like a reverse lunge with dumbbells or with kettlebells, holding it at the chest in a goblet. So that's two. We go split squat, we go to reverse lunge. From there, then we might work more of an increase in the range of motion. We might go to rear foot elevated split squats or Bulgarians with a bar. Or we may progress straight into a forward lunge, walking lunge there. Again, that would be more quad dominant. And then finally, you would forward lunge back to the initial position. So again, there's more eccentric loading there. Again, they have to reverse the momentum, and that's kind of your final progression. Or again, you would move into a rear foot elevated split squat if that was your goal. Now, that's kind of progressions and regressions for single leg, your starting point as well as your finishing point. So now, what do we always see in strength athletes? Overextension. Lumbar and spinal erectors are always cranked into this overly extended position. Hip flexors are pretty tight, so we got an anterior tilt. So here's a drill or a modification that I've been using with a lot of my athletes. Again, I'll start them with the bench, start them from the bottom up. Now, we're going to incorporate a little anterior load here, so we get more core engagement coming out of the hole, straight up and down. Again, it's nothing new, it's just a different way to load the exercise. Where you place the load determines what is activated. So, you could start here with a plate, you can use a dumbbell, you can use a kettlebell, anything that places the load out in front of the body is what you want to go to. So from here, again, taking it into our progression. Weights out in front, and now we can simply go into a reverse lunge. And you'll feel the difference immediately when you take the weight out in front versus having it close to your body and the amount of anterior core that it requires. So that's kind of what I like to use with a lot of my athletes. Gets them out of that extended position. It's a good variation for you to try, and that kind of gives you a basis for how to set up the split squat, what you're looking for, and a couple different drills that you can try. So hope that was helpful.